This is news now for August 19th, 2021. I'm Deborah, Ezeh. Many thanks for joining me. On the Nigerian scene, the federal government has embargoed implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, till August 2022. President Muhammadu Buhari gave this hint when he inaugurated a steering committee to oversee the process yesterday. Unveiling members of the steering committee, President Buhari said it has 12-month duration for the assignment, while he expects periodic updates to be given to him. While directing immediate implementation of the framework for the PIA, he urged relevant stakeholders to comply and reposition for full activation within 12 months. The steering committee is headed by the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Timothy Silva. Other members include Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Group Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Representative of the Ministry of Justice, Representative of the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, and Senior Special Assistant to the President on Natural Resources. Olufemi Lijadu as External Legal Advisor. The Executive Secretary, Petroleum Technology Development Fund, will serve as head of the corporation or coordinating secretary and the implementation working group. The primary responsibility of the steering committee will be to guide the effective and timely implementation of the PIA in the course of transition to the petroleum industry envisaged in the reform program, and ensure that the new institutions created have the full capability to deliver on their mandates under the new legislation. And in business, perennial underpricing and poor rates in ground handling subsector of aviation yearly is costing the entire industry a shortfall of $28.35 million US dollars or 11.6 billion. A rough estimate in revenue, according to industry benchmark on average handling of rates on the continent, show that the subsector is worth at least 56.7 million US dollars in turnover, as against the half it currently records yearly in Nigeria. Stakeholders and operators alike have described the shortfall as enormous, with severe implication for safe operation and sustainability. They again urged the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to intervene and institute a safety threshold handling rates as part of economic regulation of the ground handlers. Meanwhile, handling companies still charge between $300 US to $1,000 US to handle a narrow body aircraft, rather than $1,400 US to $1,600 US charged in other African countries. Similarly, they also charge about $3,000 US as against the $5,000 US average charge in neighboring countries for wide-body aircraft. For domestic operations, some airlines pay as low as 12,000 naira to 20,000 naira for aircraft turnaround. And in Africa, the Burkina Faso government said Wednesday that 47 people, including 30 civilians, 14 soldiers and 3 army auxiliaries, were killed in an attack by suspected jihadists on a military convoy escorting civilians in the northern Burkina Faso. A mixed convoy composed of civilians, elements of the defense and security forces, and volunteers for the defense of the homeland was the target of a terrorist attack 25 kilometers from Goljadi North, during which 30 civilians, 14 soldiers, and 3 VDP were killed. Announced by the Burkina Faso Ministry of Communication, the commune of Goljadi is located in the Sino province in northern Burkina Faso, in the so-called three-border zone, which straddles Mali and Niger. The tri-border area is the region most affected by the violence, and thousands of civilians and soldiers have been killed there. The attack, which also left 19 people wounded, took place while the security forces and the VDP were on a mission to secure civilians living for Abidal. According to the government, during the retaliation, SDF and VDP shot dead 58 terrorists and many others were wounded and fled. The same sources said, noting that rescue and field operations are ongoing. This attack is the third in a series that left more than a dozen dead in 2 weeks against soldiers engaged in the anti-jihadist struggle in the north and northwest of Burkina Faso. On August 4th, 33 people, including 15 soldiers and 11 civilians, and 4 army auxiliaries were killed in attack by suspected jihadists in the northern Burkina Faso, near the border in Niger. On August 9th, 12 soldiers were killed and 8 wounded in an attack northwestern Burkina Faso, near the border with Mali. And on Wednesday, 5 civilian auxiliaries were killed in an attack in the north. A poor West African country, Burkina Faso, has been plagued since 2015 by regular deadly jihadist attacks. particularly in the northern and eastern regions like its neighbors Mali and Niger. These attacks, often coupled with ambushes and attributed to jihadist group affiliated with Islamic State and Al-Qaeda, have killed more than 1,500 people and forced more than 1.3 million to flee their homes. And away from that story, in Algeria has decided to review its relation with Morocco, accused of being involved in the deadly fires that ravaged the north of the country, according to a statement from the Algerian presidency. The incessant hostile acts perpetrated by Morocco against Algeria have necessitated the review of relations between the two countries and the intensification of security controls at the western borders, said the statement, without further clarification. This decision was taken during an extraordinary meeting at the Algerian High Security Council, chaired by the head of state, Abel Majid, and devoted to the assessment of the situation after the huge forest fires that have killed at least 90 people in the north of the country. The president said that most of the fires were of criminal origin. Algerian officials accused the Paris-based cable independence organization of being involved in the fires and the lynching of a man wrongly accused of arson in the northeastern region of Kabia, the region most affected of the fires. They also implicated the London-based Islamo-conservative Rashad movement. These two movements, the best noise of the Algerian government, are illegal in Algeria, where they are classified as terrorist organization on May 18th. And most Algerian forest fire under control emergency service. And on international scene, United States troops may stay in Afghanistan past an August 34th deadline to evacuate Americans, U.S. President Joe Biden said on Wednesday, as the Pentagon said the U.S. military does not have the ability to reach people beyond the Kabul airport. If there's American citizens left, we are going to stay until we get them all out, Joe Biden has said. On an interview conducted on a day, many U.S. lawmakers pressed him to extend the deadline that he had set for a final pullout. Biden has come under first criticism for his handling of the withdrawal, which in recent days has been dominated by scenes of chaos and around the Kabul airport, with people desperately trying to get out of the country. Biden defended his decision, saying problems were inevitable in ending the 20-year U.S. involvement there. The idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing. I don't know how that happens, he said. He also said the Taliban is cooperating for now, is helping in getting Americans out of the country, but we are having some difficulty in evacuating U.S.-aligned Afghan citizens. Meanwhile, in Haiti, tremors shook buildings late on Wednesday in the southern Haitian city of Les Cayes, a few days after a devastating earthquake killed almost 2,200 people across the Caribbean nation and injured thousands more. A police officer on parole in Les Cayes said there was no immediate report of further death or damage in the region, which is still reeling from the 7.2 magnitude earthquake on Saturday morning. Haitian authorities said late on Wednesday that the official death toll from the quake had risen to 2,189. The poorest country in the Americas, Haiti, is still recovering from a 2010 quake that killed over 200,000. And the sports team Nigeria became the center of attraction at the Kasaryan Stadium, venue of the ongoing World Under-20 champion in Nairobi yesterday, as the country 4x400-meter mixed relay team grabbed the first gold medal at the event. They also set championship record twice. After Nemani Johnson, Opeyemi Oke, Ajayi Bamidele, and Imabong Ezeh Uko dazzled the spectators with a new record of 3:21.26 on their way to the final. The athletes increased their pace in the final race to shook the entire crowd with their spectacular display of talent, which earned them Nigeria the gold medal with another champion record of 3:19.70. And that's all we can take on news now for AFRICUNIA TV. For more news updates, visit us on our social media platform on Jointum and Pagram, and also our website on africunia.tv. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, and drop a comment on the comment section. I am Deborah Ezeh. Many thanks for watching.